Testing, testing. Okay. Let us get this going. Alright, so, folks, thanks for joining me. I am Cypher. We're trying something new, something different, something a little weird. We are going to write together my John Wick review. So, I don't have spell check on. So, there's that. Words will be spelled incorrectly. No worries. No worries. Basically, anybody that joins in the chat, I'll add you to the special thanks column. So, titling up. I think it's that. Oh, I can't use the number 4. Okay. It's not a good font if I can't use 4. I see we have 0 people watching. That's fine. This is just for me anyway. This is just me trying out something new, something weird. Let me see if my audio is even good. Put some headphones on. I learned that mistake. Now if I can find my headphones, we'll be good. We're just hanging out, doing whatever, saying whatever. This is just a hangout sesh right now. So, if you want to hang out with me, hang out with me. If you don't, no worries. This video will be deleted from YouTube anyway. Checking Twitch right now just to make sure that's sounding good. Yeah, the audio's there too. It's funny because you can hear my what is it? What am I trying to say? You can hear my computer, the fan on the computer. Alright, so I already know the audio levels are good. Put my phone on vibrate. Sorry for that. Put it on silent real quick. Alright, so let us write this. What's that line? What's that at the bottom? I got 4 lines. 1, whatever that is. Let us write this review. I don't need a zoom. What's this actually? Zoom in. That's pretty cool. Control plus. Oh, didn't know I could do that. That's really nice. Also, I am really blind. We could probably zoom out a bit. So this is our John Wick Chapter 4 review. What are we going to say? What are we going to do? I got some ideas. Basically, the rules are anybody that joins the chat, leaves a comment. I don't really care what you leave. You'll be added in the credits in the description under special thanks. So I'm going to just put anybody joins the chat. There we go. So let's go to our intro. I always love this kind of thing. I'm going to put just a little note to myself. Use like 80s. Oh god, this font. As much as I like this font, I can't use it because you can't put numbers. Let's use a different font real fast. Yeah. No, I don't like this font. What's up with this one? It's not the cutest. It's a little ugh mug. Who would have thought the beginning of this video is me trying to find a font that I like? This feels pretty John Wick. Feels pretty 2000s era as well. Like, it makes me think, oh, what is this, 2002? It makes me think of like maybe a 2002, I don't know, I want to say Michael Bay movie for some reason. I don't even know if he was making movies in 2002. Who knows? I'm all over the place. I just wanted to stream. I missed you guys. I haven't been able to stream. I haven't been working on videos too much. I've been so busy. But now I'm working on a video. And it's fun because now I get to work on a video live while talking to you guys, so you guys can see how much goes into making a video and how much time it takes. This is, like I said, completely new and experimental. If you don't want to watch and you don't want to join, oh, I totally understand, because this is weird as hell. But you get to contribute to this. You know, before I go big and go on Patreon, make you pay to contribute, now you get to contribute for free because I'm desperate and I need guys to watch me. Actually, if you're watching this on Twitch right now, I do need one more follower. I think I'm at 48 followers or 49 out of 50, and you need 50 before you can monetize. So just keep that in mind. Now, we're going to use an 80s style movie trailer voice. Movie trailer guy voice. That's just my little note right there. And we're going to say something along the lines of, John Wick is back, baby. And in this film, no, I want to, before I get to, I don't even want to do the voice right now, because if I do the voice, I'm going to start straining my throat. John Wick is back, baby. Chapter 4 brings, how do I want to word it? I want to say there's more blood, more kill. Ooh, there's more guns, more, I don't know. It's more funny to me now because I'm doing it. Like, I'm not just recording the video. Now I got to put on like a funny thing for you guys to watch. Because normally I'm quiet. I'm thinking to myself, I might talk out loud a little bit. But then I also got the comment thing. Turn it all the way this way. Oh, look, someone else is joining in and watching. If you're joining in and watching and you're trying to figure out what the hell you've stumbled across, this is me. You're watching a behind the scenes of me working on my John Wick Chapter 4 review. So, oh, you already left. Okay, it doesn't matter. I see the person who was watching left. I totally understand. But just in case somebody watches it again, this is the John Wick Chapter 4 review. And if you join in the chat, so anybody who joins in the chat, I will add you into the special thanks category. So feel free to talk about the movie, whether you've seen it, whether you didn't see it. Who cares? Let's just have some fun, do something weird, do something different. I don't know. All right, so back to where we at. So our intro, we're using that 80s style movie trailer guy voice. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than let me think of something. He's packing more heat than a priest with a I want something for this one. I'm having an Archer moment where I can't think of what I want to say. He's packing more heat than a, what's hot? Packing more heat than a prostitute at the at the clinic, than a prostitute at the gynecologist. I don't fucking know. I think that's a good one though. I think that's a good one. And he's packing more heat than a prostitute at the gynecologist. Is that funny? Is that a thing? I don't know. Or I could say your mom. A classic your mom joke. He's packing more heat than a prostitute and your mom going to the gynecologist. Oh, man. I'm having a brain fart because I'm too busy trying to be funny. Baba Yaga is packing. Wait, John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a prostitute. Can you say that on YouTube? I don't think you can say prostitute. Okay, so I gotta switch it up. I can't say prostitute. We gotta say something else. He's packing more heat than a hooker. I feel like you can definitely say hooker. Hooker seems to be a little bit more YouTube friendly. packing more heat than a hooker at a wrestling event. I want to say. Can you say something about wrestlers? I'm trying to make a funny joke and make it make sense, and now I'm totally having a brain fart. We'll come back to that line. We're gonna come back to the funny line. Let me just go to the next line. Let's put a note. Fix this joke. We'll come back to that. Will this I gotta ask the question to the audience. So the next segment, so you do the intro and then you do question. That's like the next thing. So you introduce it. You say, okay, John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga, because that's another thing that they call him. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a wrestling convention. That's a placeholder joke. Let me put that right there. Than a hooker at a... I don't know. We're working on that joke. Don't worry about it. And then question. Will John Wick be able to jump out of a window and into your heart? That's a little weak, but I like it. With enough delivery, it can make sense. And the reason why I say jump out of a window, because he's always jumping out of stuff. Will John Wick be able to jump out of a window and into your heart, or will these I'll give it a contradictory sentence in a second once I think of something. Or will these dropping stuff? Whoopsies. Oh, I dropped my mouse stand. Yo, it's crazy because I should have wrote down my notes that I was going to say earlier. I was thinking of all this stuff while I was watching the movie. Comment in the chat if you've seen the movie. Or this last time you care to watch someone get hit by a car. I don't know. I am out of the juice. This is going to be a rough draft for sure. Usually I don't write these scripts. I just sit and say them a bunch of times until I say something that I like. So far we got John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a hotel. Hooker at a hotel. Hooker at a hot summer hotel. Hooker at... I like the hooker and hotel because it's got the H-O thing. Then a hooker with a hook. Does that make any sense? No, you can't say hooker with a hook. A hooker with a... Give me something else that got an H-O in it. Anybody else got something with an H-O in it? A hoot? A holler? It's packing more heat than trying to holler at a hooker at a hotel. That's dumb. That's dumb. Don't worry about it. We'll come back to that. We'll get that. We'll get this joke all sorted. We're gonna... Can't include the whole sentence. We're gonna get this sorted out eventually. We're gonna figure that out. I don't know yet or how, but we will. Will John Wick be able to jump out of a window and into your heart, or will this be the last time you want to see his films? That's not funny. That's kind of just weird and mean sounding. Or will this be the last chapter in his time as the boogeyman? Did they call him the boogeyman? It's crazy. I just watched the film and I don't even remember that part. I'm running dry right now. Will John Wick be able to jump out of a window and into your heart, or will this be the last time you get shot? Or will this be the last time or will this be the last of the boogeyman? Is again not the best, but it's something for now. I probably won't fix it because I can't think of anything. My brain is just out of it right now. This is the call to action. I don't really need to write that down because I already have something that I say in all the videos. It's like, hey, if you could leave a like, I appreciate it because I'm trying to fight the beast that is the YouTube algorithm. Leave the like, please leave a like, please leave a like because blah, 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 blah. So what I will ask you guys in the chat is, should I keep the call to action right there? Because that's where I usually put it at. Or should I put the call to action at the end? And technically, just so you know, under intro, where's my mouse at? Oh gosh, I can't find my mouse. Before the intro, there's like a trailer clip that I put. So I always open and close it with the trailer clip. So there's gonna be a trailer clip of like, you ready? And he's gonna say, yeah. And then it'll be the John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga's packing more heat than a hooker at a blah blah blah. Packing more heat. Packing more heat. No, I can't think of it. Bobby, and then I asked the question, will John Wick be able to jump out of a window and into your heart? Shoot his way into your heart, maybe. Maybe? Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or will this be the last of the boogeyman? Or will this be his final flatline? Or will this film flatline? I guess that's better. And will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart? Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or will this be, or will this movie flatline? Or does this movie flatline before it even starts? That's better, right? You guys like that better? I think that's better. If anybody's just joining and they need to see more of the top, I got you. So then the call to action's there for now. I'm going to put a little dot. Let me know if you want me to keep it. So I go right into it and I tell you what you think of it. And I'm just going to say John Wick Chapter 4 was really crazy. The first act of the... Oh, hold on. This is its own separate sentence. First act of the movie was action. Actually, the whole film was action-packed. Action-packed, and I mean that literally. This is the longest film in the franchise. Which I believe it is. I'm going to pull up the other ones real fast. Let me check John Wick runtimes. So John Wick 1 was 1 hour 36 minutes. John Wick 2 was 2 hours 2 minutes. John Wick 3 was 2 hours 11 minutes. John Wick 4 was 2 hours and 49 minutes. Yeah. So this is the longest one in the franchise. So just starting from the top. We got John Wick is back, baby. I'm going to use a different voice than that, but that's the voice I'm using right now because I don't feel like squeezing my throat muscles to do all that extra. So let me just start from top. Sorry. 3, 2, 1. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. It's not the strongest, but that's what I'm going to use. Than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. Yeah, that's what we have for now. So again, I keep stopping to start. Let's take it from the top and try one more time. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or does this movie flatline before it even starts? Let's find out. So with the let's, there's always like a comma there. Because it's let's find out. So it's a pause. Let's find out. I'm giving you show notes. I'm giving you, internet, show notes as if you're going to write and read this script for me. Then there's the call to action. Hey, if you didn't know, you could leave me a like in the comments, subscribe, and blah, 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 blah. Let me know if that should go with the end of the whole script or not. Right now, I keep it right there just because, I don't know. It seems like it would make sense to go right there. You do the call to action. Going into it. All right. John Wick Chapter 4 was really crazy. The whole film was action-packed, and I mean that literally. This is the longest film in the franchise. That opening act was something else. That opening act was something else. So the opening act was, I'm not going to go into any spoilers. Who's watching? Nobody's really watching right now. So I'm thinking out loud to myself because I don't know if you're watching this right now live. Because again, I'm just probably going to delete this if you don't watch it now. This is your only chance to see it. That's fine. But the opening act, actually, since I'm going to delete this anyway, I don't know if I'm going to delete it off of Twitch because I haven't really, with Twitch, figured out what I'm doing too much. I've only somewhat mastered YouTube. And mastered is a lie. I've only somewhat gotten the hang of YouTube. I've been back on YouTube for almost a year now. Actually, not even. Why am I saying all these things? It's only been probably 6 months. I'm rambling. We're getting off topic. The first act took place in Tokyo or Osaka, Japan. I think it was Osaka. That opening act was something else. It felt like the film was more focused on entertainment than it was realism. How do I put that in a way that's not, because it's not a bad thing. So let me just read the sentence and see how I got. John Wick Chapter 4 was really crazy. The whole film was action-packed, and I mean that literally. This is the longest film in the franchise, and it's packed to the gills with action scenes. So, and it's packed to the gills with beautifully, B-E-U-B-E-A-U-T, beautifully choreographed? Is that the right word? I don't know how to spell choreographed. Choreographed. That's the closest we're going to get to spelling that, and I know that's not the proper spelling. This is the longest film in the franchise, and it's packed to the gills with beautifully choreographed action scenes throughout. Action scenes throughout. That opening act was something else. I don't even know if I want to call out the opening act specifically now. Because was the opening act when he was chasing them on the camels, or was the opening act in Osaka? I don't know. Let's talk about the villain. Can I segue this into the villain? Oh, well, first let me talk about Keanu Reeves, because Keanu Reeves was on top notch. Keanu? Am I spelling that right? Keanu Reeves was truly... I don't want to talk about spoilers, though. Keanu Reeves was... He was good. Keanu Reeves was not on a sensu beam, because he didn't do much in the way of voice acting. He was mostly doing body action, like choreographed stunts, and it was awesome. Keanu Reeves was on, I don't want to say he was on a sensu beam, because if I'm using that, I gotta say, if you want a sensu beam in my book, like how I use it on this channel, you going crazy, because you just got your energy back. He was on a sensu beam going crazy in the fact that he wasn't dying, so I think I will give him the coveted title of being on a sensu beam. Keanu Reeves was on a sensu beam. That's my, that's gonna be on the shirt right there. If I knew how to spell. Keanu Reeves was on a sensu beam. This man will not die. Like, can I say that? This man will not be stopped. Keanu Reeves was on a sensu beam. This man will not be stopped. He was catching wreck on everybody. and barely even spoke. He barely even spoke in this one. Barely even spoke in this movie. Maybe I want to say something about Lawrence Fishburne, because he was barely in the movie. Lawrence Fishburne and I think it's Lance Reddick didn't have big roles in this film, but for the time that they were on screen, they were good as well. Fishburne. I'm spelling that wrong. Lawrence Fishburne and Lance Reddick didn't have big roles in this film, but they were both good. Our villain, played by, now his name eludes me. I know he's a Skarsgård. So if I can just click on John Wick Chapter 4, go to cast, he is Bill Skarsgård. Thank you. And I may as well just get the proper spelling of that. Like that A. Can that show up in the notes when I do that? Oh, it does. It puts the fancy A. You guys see it? Nice. Let me zoom out just in case anybody's watching this. There we go. It felt... Wait. I didn't even notice that was right there. Alright, let me read from the top, see what we got so far. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or does this movie flatline before it even starts? Oh, starts and heart. Oh, I didn't realize I made a rhyme. Yes, I did. Let's find out. And if you didn't know, could you like and subscribe, because I really need the likes, please. John Wick Chapter 4 was really crazy. Is there a better word for crazy? John Wick Chapter 4 was really good. That's basic. I need some more words in my vocabulary. John Wick Chapter 4 was out of this world. It was good. I needed some other words. I need to expand my vocabulary. Like, gosh, I need to use another word for crazy. John Wick Chapter 4 was over the top. Was so far over the top, it was peaking at Chapter 5. I think that's probably what I want to say. I don't know why, but I just like that. John Wick Chapter 4 was so over the top, it was sneaking a peek at Chapter 5. John Wick Chapter 4 was so over the top. That's a funny one, so I gotta do this. John Wick Chapter 4 was so over the top, it was sneaking a peek at Chapter 5. The whole film was action-packed, and I mean that literally. This is the longest film in the franchise, and it's packed to the gills with beautifully choreographed action scenes. Keanu Reeves was on a sensu bean. This man will not be stopped. He was catching wreck on everybody and barely even spoke in this movie. Lawrence Fishburne and Lance Reddick didn't have big roles, and let me make sure I got their names right. May as well, while I'm here, just stop for a second. Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, and then Lance Reddick. Okay, I did get their names right. I broke the whole vibe of the thing. I'm going to just start from the top. This is what I used to do when I was rapping. If you mess up, you got to start from the top. And then unless you was doing a one take, no break. And we don't do those here. We don't do one takes, no breaks. They're just a lot more to edit. So start from the top. Not going to use the voice right now. Sorry, my voice. My regular throat. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or does this flatline before from the top? I don't know why I'm practicing, because I'm not recording right now, but I'm practicing. I'm doing it anyway. I should actually be recording this. Now I won't do it until I get to the end, and then I can just read each line and zoom it in to make it bigger for my blind self. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or does this movie flatline before it even starts? Let's find out. My S got a lot of in it. I got a S-y. I got a lot of S. I got a lot of pff in my S. I'm not starting from the top. This is my call to action scene. If you could leave a like, blah, 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 blah. Again, I'm not writing it out because you already know. John Wick Chapter 4 was so over the top, it was sneaking a peek at Chapter 5. The whole film was action-packed, and I mean that literally. This is the longest film in the franchise, and it's packed to the gills with beautifully choreographed action scenes throughout. Keanu Reeves was on a sensu bean. Wait, hold on. I want to talk about the gunfight. The gun sounds? The sound department had a field day with gun sounds and bullets flying over. I don't know. I want to talk about gun sounds and I want to talk about the sound effects, but I don't know how to fit that in right now. If I put that somewhere as a note, gun sounds and sound effects. And the visual effects were good too. Well, I don't know, put this like there. Visual effects as well. Alright, I will take it from the top just because it's good to have practice. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or does this movie flatline before it even starts? Let's find out. John Wick Chapter 4 was so over the top it was sneaking a peek at Chapter 5. The whole film was action-packed. Wait, what? Fuck up. Alright, let me take it from the top again. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga's packing more heat than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or does this movie flatline before it even starts? Let's find out. John Wick Chapter 4 was so over the top it was sneaking a peek at Chapter 5. The whole film was action-packed, and I mean that literally. This is the longest film in the franchise, and it's packed to the gills with beautifully choreographed action scenes throughout. Keanu Reeves was on a sensu bean. This man will not be stopped. He was catching wreck on everybody and barely even spoke in this movie. Lawrence Fishburne and Lance Reddick didn't have big roles in the film, but they were both good. Our villain, played by Bill Skarsgård, was menacing, not charming. Menacing? I know that's not how you spell it, guys. Don't worry about that. Don't even worry about that. I know that I'm spelling that wrong. My chat's not working? My chats are working. Nobody's here with me. That's okay. I don't be streaming every day. Y'all gonna get only an hour of this, because after an hour, I'm turning it off. Gosh darn it. Anyway, our villain, played by Bill Skarsgård, was menacing, slimy. Was he slimy? He was French. He wasn't slimy, though. He was just kind of like a little bit of a punk, but not really. Yeah, he was. And then you got to do rule of 3. So now I called him menacing, slimy, and suave. Was he suave, though? He wasn't suave in the James Bond sense. He was just suave because he had a nice suit and expensive clothes. And I don't want to do a M, a S, and another S, because then I should have just did 3 S's. Sinister, slimy, and suave is what I should have did, maybe. But then I don't want to run another alliteration gag. Alright, our villain, played by Bill Skarsgård, was menacing, slimy, and brutal, maybe? I'm gonna be right back. Grab a pillow. Big. It is. Hold on. This pillow's way too big. Why did I do this? I made it much worse, but that's okay. Alright. We got... Where was I at? Our villain, played by Bill Skarsgård, was menacing, slimy, and brutal. And was a... I don't know, a perfect way to, it was a perfect opposite of what John Wick is. Right? Because John Wick's a killer, he's violent, he's a man of action, will get things done. This guy, he kind of just had other people getting things done. So, I don't know. It feels generic to say this though. It was a perfect antagonist to the brute force that is John Wick. I guess, but a perfect antagonist is like a mirror. Or did I watch too many Marvel movies and I see nothing but the mirror version? It was a perfect opposite to what John Wick's force of nature. Yeah, it was a perfect opposite to the force of nature, to the force of nature that is John Wick. It felt like the film was more focused on action for the sake of action than it was on story and making things make sense. I mean, a lot of stuff didn't make any sense, but I was already into the lore, so it made enough sense if you're following the lore. But is this one character in it who it didn't make any sense? I mean, it kind of did seeing the movie twice, but I'm gonna still talk about it because I need more points to talk about. In the story, again, like I get the story, but I don't think general audiences would. Like I had my sister there; she's asking a bunch of questions, so I want to say the story didn't make too much in the way of sense. So I'm going to say it felt like the film was more focused on action for action's sake than it was on telling a story. There is a story here, but it's bookended by loud, crazy action scenes. A story in lore here, but the main draw to these films is the action, which is front and center in this one. I don't know how long this is, but I generally try to keep them at 2 minutes, so maybe I'm at my 2 minute mark, maybe not. I don't know. Let me zoom it in though, ready to see what I'm actually writing here. I'm gonna just probably talk about the sound effects. The sound effects and visual effects and special effects were all well done. Because if I'm talking about the story, I think the next logical progression is to talk about that other stuff. So let me say that. I feel like that's good. It maybe feels a little bit like generic movie review talk, and I've watched a lot of movie reviews, so I might be falling into that trap of like, oh, that's pretty generic. That's like a movie review person would say. But I do feel that way, and I'm a little on autopilot, so I kind of feels like that. If I read it out loud as a cohesive story, tell me what you think. So we're going to start from the top. I'm going to time myself a little bit. It's going to be a slightly inaccurate because I won't have the call to action in it. Let's just, again, see what we got. Try to keep it around 2 minutes because I haven't even put a score to it yet. I already have an idea of what I want to put a score in. Just getting my phone ready. I didn't charge my stuff. So I'm nervous just to start. All right, we're going to go. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or does this movie flatline before it even starts? Let's find out. John Wick Chapter 4 was so over the top it was sneaking a peek at Chapter 5. The whole film was action-packed, and I mean that literally. This is the longest film in the franchise, and it's packed to the gills with beautifully choreographed action scenes throughout. Keanu Reeves was on a sensu bean. This man will not be stopped. He was catching wreck on everybody and barely even spoke in this movie. Lawrence Fishburne and Lance Reddick didn't have big roles in this film, but they were both good. Our villain, played by Bill Skarsgård, was menacing, slimy, and brutal, and was a perfect opposite to the force of nature that is John Wick. It felt like the film was more focused on action for action's sake. That's supposed to say sake. Killing time. Faction for action's sake than it was on telling a story. There is a story and lore to be found here. That's what I want to say. Lore to be found here. I'm gonna just start over because it's not fair that I made those little stops in the middle of my thing. I was at a minute though, but let me start from the top. Again, we try to keep it at 2 minutes just to hold the person's attention, the viewers, I would say the reader's attention. At least now that I'm working on the script, it's like, all right, hold on. Let me tell you something real fast. So this is beautiful because I'm live streaming. I'm hanging out with you guys. It says I got one person watching me on Twitch, but I closed out my Twitch, didn't I? So I don't know if it's a real person or if it was because I had Twitch running in the background. I think it's because I had Twitch running in the background on my phone. I closed out the app now. Let me close out everything. I'm trying to figure out if somebody's actually watching me right now, but they don't want to leave a comment. It's okay if you don't have to leave a comment. I was like I said, I was going to put you in the special thanks, see? So you was going to be in the the special thanks. So like I thank anybody who joins the chat and just says something. But it's okay. You don't have to. Don't feel no pressure. Anyway, so this is good because from like a marketing standpoint or a brand standpoint or a YouTube content creator standpoint, I'm going to get a live stream off. I'm talking and joking and cussing. So this is like just a raw version of me, non-advertising friendly. I mean, I'm not saying anything crazy or salacious, but you get a live stream. If I was to keep this, it would be a video, but this isn't going to be a video. This will probably turn into a Patreon video. So then if you're on Patreon, you get to see, oh, how did this review get made? And it'll become a behind the scenes. So you can either watch it live or you be part of the behind the scenes. So then now I have exclusive, Patreon content, and maybe I can, I don't know, put a visual to it because it's not the most entertaining thing to watch. But yeah, that was that. I don't know. I just said all those words just now. When I got a text, I got to turn the heat up. Give me a second. Be right back. BRBs. Which I'm shocked that she wants to heat up. I thought she was cold. I mean hot. So I'm just trolling her for a second. Because I did think that she was hot. She said she was hot before. Oh man, my back. Okay. This is fun to get loose like this. I got this pillow. I didn't put too many pillows on this thing. It's uncomfortable. I don't know where my chair pad went. I looked in the garage, but I cannot find it. So I'm trying to just get as comfortable as I can. Woosah. Hey everybody. How's everybody doing? Oh, there he is. There's DJ doing his crying. All right, let's get ready to. It's going to be cold. What's she saying? Turn the heat on and up. Yep, I did that. It's going to be cold tomorrow. Yep, got it. All right, so we're going to try to do. I'm so nervous. I'm overthinking it. Sorry for overthinking it, guys. Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, I breathed. I took a breath. Let me just. Way overdoing it. Let's take time, get it together, and go. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or does the movie flatline before it even starts? Let's find out. John Wick Chapter 4 was so over the top it was sneaking a peek at Chapter 5. The whole film was action-packed, and I mean that literally. This is the longest film in the franchise, and it's packed to the gills with beautifully choreographed action scenes throughout. Keanu Reeves was on a sensu bean. This man will not be stopped. He was catching wreck on everybody and barely even spoke in this movie. Lawrence Fishburne and Lance Reddick didn't have big roles in this film, but they were both good. Our villain, played by Bill Skarsgård, was menacing, slimy, and brutal, and was a perfect opposite to the force of nature that is John Wick. It felt like the film was more focused on action for action's sake than it was on telling a compelling story. That's what I should have put. I'm sorry, I gotta stop. I gotta write that down. Because when you say it out loud, you start to hear it. Well, it was compelling. Let me stop for a second. Stop this. It wasn't that it wasn't compelling. Then it was on telling a dramatic story. It felt like the film was more focused on action for action's sake than it was on telling a compelling story. I wasn't uncompelled. I got it. I get it. Yeah, I'll leave it in. It sounds good. Damn it, one more time. Starting it. Let's do it. You know, in the editing room, I want to let you know I do a lot of breathing, and I gotta cut all that breathing out. So it's so funny. It's just so funny to me. All right, let's just get to it. Nervous. So sorry, and so nervous. Let's go. John Wick is back, baby. Baba Yaga is packing more heat than a hooker at a hot hotel on a Sunday. Will John Wick be able to shoot his way into your heart, or does this movie flatline before it even starts? Let's find out. John Wick Chapter 4 was so over the top it was sneaking a peek at Chapter 5. This is the longest film in the franchise, and is packed to the gills with beautifully choreographed action scenes throughout. Keanu Reeves was on a sensu bean. This man will not be stopped. He was catching wreck on everybody and barely even spoke in this movie. Lawrence Fishburne and Lance Reddick didn't have big roles in this film, but they were both good. Our villain, played by Bill Skarsgård, was menacing, slimy, and brutal, and was a perfect opposite to the force of nature that is John Wick. It felt like the film was more focused on action for action's sake than it was on telling a compelling story. There is a story and lore to be found here, but the main draw to these films is the action, which is front and center in this one. The sound effects, visual effects, and special effects were all well done, and at this point, that is expected once a movie hits its stride like John Wick films have done. And then stop. So that's about 1:10. So I still got 50 more seconds to wrap up the video, and I think I'm going to just go straight into the score. So this was a good film, no texting required, but you can't even text. So it was a little bit better than that. By the way, if you're wondering where I kind of got that idea from, that's Jeremy Johns. So if you're watching this live, you already know the behind the scenes. If you're watching this on Patreon, there you go. Damn, what was I going to say? I was about to say something I forgot already. Oh, this is a good film. Let's get to the rating system. This film is worth owning on Blu-ray. I can't. That's like a direct copycat. There's no other substitute. This film is worth adding to your collection. That's the closest thing I can say to that, similar to my inspiration and also putting my own twist on it. It's a barely twist. It's like copy my homework but change the answers around a little bit. But that's what I'm going with until I come up with something better. This film is worth adding to your collection. This film is worth adding to your collection. I'm going to give John Wick 7.5 bullet wounds. Bullet shells, 7.5 clips, 7.5 rounds. I don't know. 7.5 bullet wounds out of 10. Alright, so let's talk about that score. Why are we going with 7.5? So I base my scoring system on the IGN review scoring system. And if I could, allow me to pull that up really fast. The review scale, the IGN review scale, excuse me. So in between a 7 and an 8 would make it in between good and great. Now, I thought the film was really good, which means 7.5, and really even a 7.75. I have to knock points off, and I'm trying to remember why. And another thing I was going to do was weigh out the pros and cons, but now I'm getting tired, and I still got to do. I did an hour of this rambling, and now I got to do an hour of actually doing the thing, which it should be faster now that I have a script. Because like I said, I usually don't script them out. I just talk it out. But with the script, that should be fine. Anyway, so 7.5 is really good. Because 7 means good. This is, again, I'm talking about the IGN review scale. Let me zoom this out so you can see like what's going on, in case you were wondering, like, what is he talking about? 6 is okay. It was way better than okay. It was good. And it wasn't great. And what made it not great? I couldn't even say, because I liked it to where I would probably even give it an 8. But if I'm being like objective and not just subjective, meaning if I'm looking at the facts of the matter, it doesn't really, like, the story is there and it's not hard to follow, but if you haven't seen the other ones, maybe it would be. And I know some people that I talked to complained about the length. Oh, I didn't mind that. I like long movies. Give me my money's worth. If I'm going out to the movies, make it a freaking event, unless the pacing is off. But usually, the reason why I like a longer movie is because I want to get, like I said, my money's worth. Because if it's a short movie and you really love those characters, then it's like, dang, I only got to hang out with you for 90 minutes. Now I want more. That's how the first one was. The first one was about 90 minutes. We had it pulled up. It went away. It was on a different screen. It was like an hour and 24 minutes. And then people liked that character so much. It's like, yo, we want more. Then they got to 2 hours. And then it was 2 hours and some change. And now it's almost 3 hours. So, I don't know. Really, either a 7.75 or an 8. Nobody's in the chat with me. And I know I gave the last couple movies a 7.75. But as I'm saying it out loud, it's really nothing stopping me from saying it was an 8. Besides the story. And it's not like the story was bad. The story wasn't bad at all. It just, some things didn't make no sense. And I'm going to spoil it since we already an hour in. If you made it this far, you might as well hear the spoilers. The shooting of the bulletproof suits was kind of dumb. But it was more, like I said, action and less logic. So, yeah, I'm thinking we're going to go 8 now. Yeah. Or what didn't I like about the movie? Again, I had no problem with it. I can't even think of something that I didn't like. Yeah, it's going to have to get an 8. Let me read the description of what it says under IGN for... Let me grab the mic. Can I do this? Oh, I can grab the mic. Cool. So I can grab the mic and actually talk. Dang, this mic stand is heavy as hell. I don't know if that's the mic or the mic stand. I got the mic in my hand. Is the audio really crazy? It's probably really bad right now. It's probably like, yo, why you so close to the mic? I'm sorry, but I want to be close to the mic for this. So, great. First, let me read you good. And I'm going to read it in the context of it's a movie because it's his game. Watching a good movie is a time well spent. Could it be better? Absolutely. Maybe it lacks ambition, it's too repetitive, or has a few technical bumps in the road, or is too repetitive. You said repetitive twice. This is IGN's webpage, by the way, and I'm changing it around from games to movies. But we came away from it happy nonetheless. We think you will too. And I think it was better. I didn't think the movie lacked any ambition. The movie was very ambitious. It wasn't repetitive, which in the movie sense, I don't know how to work. And there weren't any technical bumps. There were artistic choices. So when they had the bulletproof suits, they were shooting the bulletproof suits and you would hear like a metal sound like pink, pink, pink. Like, you know how a bullet bounces off of something and it makes the movie Hollywood sound? It wouldn't do that off of a suit because the suits weren't metal lined. They were Kevlar lined, which is a softer fabric. But anyway, so yeah, it wasn't good. It was better than good. Now let's read great real fast. These movies leave us with something outstanding to remember them by. Usually, I don't know how you would change that. Okay, novel movie ideas for, damn, this is all game related. Usually novel. I'm just read it out. I'm gonna just start over and read it as it is about talking about games. Just change the word game for movie in your own heads. These games leave us with something outstanding to remember them by. Usually novel gameplay ideas for single player or multiplayer, clever characters and writing, noteworthy graphics and sound, or some combination thereof. If we have major complaints, then there are more than enough excellent qualities to cancel them out. So with that being said, let's read it sentence by sentence and to change the words around. These movies leave us with something outstanding to remember them by. Action scenes are going to be pretty good. I got trash memory anyway, so I don't know if I'm going to necessarily remember it. And it's not because it's a bad movie, like 65. Like that, I'm not going to remember because that's a bad movie. I'm just not going to remember it because I watch so many movies and have to do reviews on them. But this one's going to stick with me for a little bit. It is going to stick with me. Will it make it into the top 10 of this year? That is a good question. Let me pull up the movies that I have reviewed this year. Let me go to my YouTube page because that's such a good question. Let me double click this. Oh, if you go on my YouTube page, it's so funny. It says writing my John Wick 4 review live. I meant to put something like help me write my John Wick 4 review. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm going to see what Twitch says. What does Twitch say? Oh, it still says John Wick 4 review. That's not necessarily John Wick 4 review. That's not necessarily. Focus. Sorry, we're getting distracted. You guys too. You guys are getting distracted as well. I'm blaming everybody. So, top 10. Let me see. It was Megan. That's not making it to top 10. Plane. That was good, but it's definitely not memorable. That joint was like a 6.5. That was good, but really a 7. Like it was okay, but it was good at the same time. So 6.5. I think when I did that, it was okay. I did have scores. Missing's up there. Missing I gave 8. The story was really good. It doesn't stick with me now, but it was good. Like seeing this trailer, I remember the movie instantly. Knock at the Cabin, that was good. So far, Missing and Knock at the Cabin would make it into the top 10. So far, you guys see something better. Marlo, definitely not, but definitely a good film. Quantumania, I'm a little biased, so that's making it up there because John Majors was killing it in there. Cocaine Bear, not making it into my top 10. Creed 3, so far, yeah, that's making it to the top 10, but I don't know how long that's going to last in there. That's a movie that could have been longer. Operation Fortune, really good. It's definitely not top 10 worthy, but it's such a good film that you got to give it props and respect. 65, no. Scream, that can make it into the top 10. Like, I'm a visual person, so I'd have to write these down and see what's up there. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, good. Was John Wick better? Oh, isn't that the true question? John Wick better? Oh, so the question now, folks, just comparing it based on my last movie, was John Wick better than Shazam! Fury of the Gods? I like funny things. So to me, Shazam was good. And it also took place in Philadelphia. John Wick was France or Paris in New York. John Wick was France or Paris. And it wasn't funny, it was action packed. But it was a better choreographed film. The action was good. So John Wick was better. Yeah. Can I cuss? I'm cussing. What am I? I'm like an hour in. Fuck it. That's right. I used the F-bomb. You only get one. Fuck it. In a PG-13 movie. I used the F-bomb. You only get one. Fuck it. In a PG-13 movie. I used the F-bomb. I'm saying my one right now. We're going 8. It's going 8. I did all that deliberating, and I'm picking 8. I'm switching it. I did all that deliberating. I'm switching it, folks. You witnessed it live. Me thinking, me concentrating, me figuring it out. I'm going 8. It's going 8. I'm going to give John Wick 8 bullet wounds out of 10. And then my outro talking. I don't know if I got to write this down because I already know what I say. I don't know what I say, but I kind of can watch an old video and just see what I say. Can watch an old video and just I guess I can just put like outro. What I say. Can watch an old video and just I guess I can just put like outro. What I say. Can watch an old video. Alright, so that is it. Yeah, nobody joined the comments. Alright, so that is somebody was watching, or I was watching my own stream and that one eyeball thing didn't go away. That's fine. So nobody goes into the special thanks. Too bad. You missed it. Nobody goes into thanks. Yeah, that's it. Where's my mouse? You missed it. Nobody goes. This background makes me lose the mouse so quickly. Well, thanks for joining me. And it's been just about an hour, just over an hour. And okay, bye. I've stretched this video too long. Thank you. Love you.